Welcome again. Dave here from Kingsman PSC. Today we're going to talk about two laws that I believe you should know before taking a CPL class. All right, now some of you guys, as we go through this, you're going to be like, hey, I took the class and I learned that in the class, so why are we learning it now? Okay, or talking about it now. Well, the reason is because though we do talk about these laws in the class, these two laws specifically can prevent the legal battle from happening from your house or wherever it is you're traveling from to the class. And, if you look at a lot of the court cases around Michigan, it's very important to know that sometimes, even though these are talked about in class, sometimes people don't pay attention. So we just want to give you a reference because people also have broken the same exact law after leaving a class, right? And this doesn't always apply, before taking your CPL. That's the focus in nature that we're talking about here. But this could also help you if, you're going out to the range with your family or friends or wherever it is you might be going. You might be traveling up north, though it's going to be in your cabin or your second home or whatever. It's the transportation, okay, and it's also using someone else's pistol. So that's what we're going to talk about today: is transporting a pistol and using someone else's pistol for the class. Quick disclaimer though, I'm not an attorney, okay? This is not legal advice, all right? So all I'm doing is just relaying the law to you, telling you what it says, and then telling you what you're supposed to do. And I'm also going to give you a way where you can dig into this for yourself, because you should have learned in the class, or if you're going to take a class, you will learn that you are responsible as a gun owner to learn the laws and obey the laws wherever you live. Okay. Okay. That's your responsibility as a gun owner. All right. So we're going to talk about these: transporting a pistol and using someone else's pistol. What's the law say? Okay, here's one portion of the law. I put the MCL down at the bottom for you. Um, a person shall not carry a pistol concealed on or about his or her person, or whether concealed otherwise, in a vehicle operated or occupied by the person, except in his or her dwelling house, place of business, or the land they possess. All right, without a license to carry the pistol as provided by law, and if licensed, shall not carry the pistol in the place or manner inconsistent with any restrictions upon such license. So the very last part is talking about if you have a concealed carry license. Um, or it could also mean, if you're dealing with license of like in your employment or something like that too. But this is talking specifically about concealed in a vehicle, or on your person in any other place. All right. You cannot have it concealed. So what's an example of that? All right. So one time I had a gentleman, he brought his backpack in the class, and you know, not every instructor is going to be like, "What you got in your bag?" You know, I did at this point in time. This guy said it's my firearm, and I said, "Okay." I said, "How are you transporting that firearm?" And he said, "Oh, I just loaded my bag up, and it's my range bag, and I just threw it in the back seat of the car and came to class." And I said, "My friend, that's illegal. That's illegal. You can't do that. That is classified as a concealed weapon. Okay, your pistol is concealed at that point in time. So at that time, if he were to get pulled over, that would have been his punishment right there at the bottom. A person who violates this section is guilty of a felony, punishable by imprisonment for not more than 5 years, or by a fine of not more than $2,500. Okay. Don't know about y'all. Prison's not a good place for me to be. I've never been to prison, but I've heard about it. Not something I want to experience in life. And I definitely work hard for my money, so I definitely don't want to have to pay any unnecessary fees. That's just me, though. I'm just saying, right? So that is what the law reads. And we'll go into more of the law here as we go on. So, except as otherwise permitted by the law, a person shall not transport or possess in or upon a motor vehicle or any self-propelled vehicle designed for land travel of either of the following. Okay, a firearm, other than a pistol unless the firearm is unloaded and is one or more of the following: taken down, enclosed in a case, carried in the trunk, and accessible from the interior of the vehicle. Okay, so this is referring to um, how it should be transported. So you can't transport without a CPL, all right, in any other manner other than what this says right here. Okay, and again, you'll notice at the bottom now the MCL now has got a D at the end. So you can just look up that MCL, and again at the end of the show here, we will tell you ways to get them, but that is the MCL code for that particular law. All right. So, how do we transport a firearm or a pistol without a Michigan CPL? Again, here it is. All right. You carry your pistol in the trunk. Okay. Now, you can't just throw it in there. You want it in an actual firearm case. Okay. Put it in the lockbox. Lock it up. No ammunition in it. Okay, that gun should be empty, mag should be empty. You lock it up in that case and you let it sit in the trunk of the vehicle. Okay? If you have a truck, this is where this comes in, inaccessible from the interior of the vehicle. Um, so you can't have, you can't just throw your if you're driving a truck without a cab, you can't just throw it in your seat. All right. Either way, let's talk about ammunition for a second. You want to have, if you're driving a car, um, or anything outside of a truck, you want to have your ammunition in the glove box and the gun locked in a locked box, a locked container inside the trunk. Okay, so they're the furthest compartments away from each other. That would be how you would transport the gun. All right. All right. So the next one we're going to get into is borrowing someone else's pistol. Is it legal? Well, yes and no. All right. Now the first laws again that we just got done talking about was okay, if the pistol was registered to you, you went out, you bought this pistol, um, you can transport it, but here's what we got to do. Again, you lock it in the trunk, no ammunition with the gun, lock it in the lockbox, lock it in the trunk, ammunition separate from the gun, in the glove box. Okay, locked up. Okay, they can't be accessible to you. This one though is specific to um, let's say, okay, I'll give you a hypothetical thing here. Dads love their daughters. They want their daughters to be protected, right? So dad's got guns. Dad has a CPL. Dad says, here you go. I signed you up for this class. Here's my gun. Take it. Make sure you lock the gun up in the trunk, and dad tells her what the laws is. All is well, right? You think so. Can she legally use dad's gun? Yeah. But can she usually legally use dad's gun in the trunk? No. You being in possession of someone else's firearm, even if they let you use it without a CPL, is illegal. That is a 5-year felony. Okay? So, how do we do this? Okay? We can lock the gun up in the trunk. We could do the ammunition like the first set of laws we just talked about. However, on this one, if you are borrowing someone else's gun to take the class or go to the range or whatever you're doing, right? That individual whom the gun is registered to has to be present. They have to physically ride with you in the vehicle and they have to be present with you out on the range. Okay, because even though you're using it and they have your approval, the gun's not registered to you. He has to be present because that gun actually belongs to him. Okay, so you can and you can use it. Just make sure that person comes with you. Okay, that is those two laws. So yes, you can borrow someone else's gun. They have to transport it and physically be there with you. You cannot leave them unattended. Um, the other thing, we get this a lot too. We get, dads and daughters, and God bless those dads. Okay, and I'm the same exact way. I'm just in a different position with my daughters. If when we get this a lot, you want to use dad's gun and dad gives you permission, he comes to the class. We certainly do get this a lot where dads, they'll be like, hey, I signed up my daughter. Can I come to your class or do I have to pay? If you've already got your CPL, you don't have to pay. If you want to come with your daughter so she's comfortable and she can use your gun and, she's getting familiar and knows you, uh, that's fine. Come with your daughter, sign them up and come. Um, you just can't participate in the class. Okay. That's how that works. And so I just thought it would be very wise and beneficial for those who have not taken a concealed carry class yet here in the state of Michigan and you're thinking about getting your CPL. These are two really good laws for you to know to keep you out of trouble prior to. Because though we do talk about these laws in the class, if you don't know prior to and something happens, well, you're kind of out of luck on that. All right. Attorneys are expensive and, it's just a waste of time and money. So if we can prevent it, let's do so. That is why we put these up here. Again, the MCLs are right there at the bottom of the right-hand corner. All right. That is in benefit for you. So you can always go to Google search these MCLs and it'll bring up the law and you can actually read the whole thing. Now there is some exemptions. This one is up present. I don't know how well you can read it. It gives a whole bunch of different stuff. But you can always read all the exemptions and all the different things in the laws. I encourage you to do that. Okay. Some of the exemptions with transporting pistols has to do with like FFLs and antique firearms and stuff like that, and we're just simply not going to get into that. But these do pertain to your concealed carry license and your firearm laws, right? And how to transport legally a firearm. So again, one more time, just to recap, you cannot transport a weapon or a firearm unless it is in a locked container inside the trunk of the vehicle. All right, ammunition needs to be separate but out of your reach. Okay, if the weapon is registered to you. If the weapon is not registered to you, or firearm, sorry, if the firearm is not registered to you and you are borrowing it, that person has to be present. You cannot transport it without them present nor utilize it. Okay. So that is it. Now, where else can we find these laws? We're doing our best to put them up on our website under the firearms tab. So you would go to kingsmenpsc.com. There it is at the bottom of the screen. Go to the website, click on the firearms laws tab, and you'll be able to find all of them there. Okay, we're still putting some up. We got more to come, but you can always find them there, and you can go to legislature.michigan.gov, and they will have them there as well. I hope this was beneficial to you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the description below, or hey, shoot us an email or something. God bless. Have a good day.